Welcome to Expats Everywhere. Can you tell us your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself?
Hello there, my name is Stuart Gribben. I'm from Glasgow in Scotland and I've been teaching out in the world now for about 8 years.
What countries have you taught in?
I started off in South Korea, then I went down to Southeast Asia, Thailand. From Thailand I moved across to Dubai. From Dubai I went to Kuwait, and then from Kuwait I moved to Saudi Arabia, where I currently am now.
What's it like working in Saudi Arabia?
Well, Saudi Arabia is a completely different kettle of fish from anywhere else I've ever worked before. Life is very disciplined, but it's enjoyable. I enjoy where I'm working. The school I work at is good, so my workplace is fine. And you have to adapt to the life over there, which I think I've done pretty well.
Do you know of any other jobs that are available that aren't teachers for expats?
Yes, I do actually. I know about other jobs through other people who I do certain training stuff with. For example, in the IT area, there's positions and there's people, a lot of expats go out to Riyadh in Saudi for these kind of jobs.
Okay, let's talk about your job. What does a typical day look like?
A typical day looks like I'm in at 7:30, checking in at 7:30. I have usually five lessons a day. Teaching PE, physical education. I teach primary and secondary classes. After we finish at 2 o'clock with the lessons, and then we have extracurricular activities, which usually I'm running a football academy. So I do that 3 times a week, my last hour at school, and by 3:10 we've signed out from school. So the day is quite short really, because we're home, if we go directly home, by 3:30.
And how much can someone expect to earn at a job like this in Saudi Arabia?
Well, it depends. I mean, in the teaching world, you can get paid well in Saudi Arabian riyals. I mean, you're looking between 3,000 US a month to 3.5, 4 sometimes. It depends on different schools, different establishments.
And what kind of lifestyle can you live on money like that?
Well, what you can do and what I do is generally when you're living in Saudi, you need to pick up a hobby. If you get into a hobby and you get into something good, time passes quickly. And when time passes quickly, you work towards your breaks. And every break I've had, even if it's 4 days, I've utilized it and I've traveled around. So I've went to nearly all the surrounding Arab countries on my break. So usually, yeah, save your money. When it's your break, take advantage, leave the kingdom, go and see countries close by.
So when you travel and then you're spending your money in the country, after all of that, how much can someone expect to save?
Well, that really comes down to the type of person you are. I mean, if you're going out to the shopping malls every weekend and buying clothes, or you're going to the nice restaurants, because Riyadh does have nice international restaurants, you'll spend, you will spend money there. But if you're tight on you manage yourself and you manage your money, you can save at least, I'd say, 2,500 US a month, because you're not paying any rent, you're not paying any utility bills, so you can save a good chunk of money. Just depends how much you're spending, on the weekends or during the week as well.
So let's say someone has a job, they're ready to go there. How much money should they bring with them as they move the startup costs?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, there's some people come to Saudi absolutely broke, and that's the reason they're there. They need to start building up a bit of a kitty. I would say, I mean, to start off, it depends. I mean, I bought a car when I got there because I needed to be mobile with my coaching and different activities that I do. But most people that go there don't really have that much. I mean, I'm not sure how much they'll have in the bank, but they don't need that much to start off with, because you basically get your villa on a compound and a bus takes you to school and takes you back. So there's no transport fees to get to school. So really, if you just stay on the compound and you go to your work and back and forth, you don't need much at all.
How should someone pack? What's the weather like?
Well, definitely your clothes in Saudi Arabia, you need to be more thoughtful about. I'd say women have to cover up a lot more. They can't show their shoulders, skirts, legs need to be covered. Even me, when I first went to Saudi, I was very cautious whether or not to wear shorts out to a shopping mall. I never really did it. Now I've been there nearly a year and a half. I do weekdays generally go out in shorts, but I make sure they're long shorts. I wouldn't wear shorter ones like I might wear in Europe. I wear longer ones. So it's very important that when you move to Saudi Arabia, you realize that you have to respect the culture. Women cover up, and men should cover up to, you know, long trousers as much as possible. And just be respectful to the laws of the country.
And what about for work? What do you wear for work?
Oh, for work, quite interesting actually. We're allowed to wear shorts and short sleeve t-shirts. Now, when I was in the UAE in Dubai, I was told you're not allowed to wear shorts as a PE teacher. You have to wear tracky bottoms, jogging bottoms. So I would wear my tracky bottoms. But now it's nice to just go into work, have the shorts on. Yeah, they're down to my knees, t-shirts, and that's that.
When you're shopping around in Saudi Arabia, do you find that there are things that you wish they had there that you could buy that you can't find?
Well, in particular, things like I bought a bicycle to do my triathlons out there, and it's a basic bicycle, and I wish they had more of a selection of bicycle stores for individual things that you're in. They do have a good store there, and it's the one that we all go to, but it's only one in a city of 8 million. So maybe a bit, you know, in particular things that you might be into, a hobby, you'd like to see more stuff available in a certain thing. But generally, you'll get your normal stores there. You've got your Nike, Adidas, H&M, the clothes stores, Foot Locker. You'll have all those stores about. So you're not in needing of finding clothes over there. In Riyadh, anyway. Out in the outskirts and smaller places, it would be different. But Riyadh's the biggest city and the capital city, so it does cater for most people.
Let's change gears a little bit and talk about safety. How safe is it in Riyadh, and do you feel safe?
I feel safe there right now, yes. When I got there, I didn't. I was a little bit more, I was thinking through things a bit more. There had been a couple of stories that in the early 2000s there was a couple of bombs that went off on an expat compound. So when I got there, people were telling me about these stories. Since I've been there, I've not found any dangers. There are areas that I've been to in Riyadh that you just tend to stay away because there isn't many expats there. But generally, where I live, I feel very safe. The security's tough. So going on the compound, they check that, you know, you've got to have your car registered with the compound. You go through, they check inside your boot. They check your front engine area as well. So there's a lot of security about, and that's the same with going to other international schools. If I want to take a football team, for example, to the British school, I need to have a gate list with all their ID numbers, passport photos. So everything's very strict in that way.
How do you meet people there?
That's a really good question. It's very difficult to meet people. There's two ways. You either get involved in a club, like I did with the road runners and the triathletes and the cycling, which is my new thing that I've got involved. I've met people, like-minded people. There is a scene, a party scene that happens there, which I've generally stayed away from because I did a lot of partying in other places. But sometimes I feel maybe I have to do that a bit more to try and meet more people. You know, it's especially hard to meet a girl over there because most of them are all married. But there are single girls and they are going to these parties on the compound, but I stay away from them. So there's that. There are other groups like salsa is a big thing over there in Riyadh. There's salsa groups. I haven't been, but I thought I wouldn't mind getting involved in something like that too. So there is stuff going on, and there are websites like Internation and stuff like that that people use to connect with different people.
And these type of people, are they expats as well, or is this a chance to meet Saudis too?
Well, for me, I like to meet locals. Where any country I go, I was in Korea, I was in Thailand, I always get I've still got loads of good Korean friends right now. So for me, I was like, I want to meet some Saudis, you know? I'd love to meet a Saudi. So I met some Saudi guys through a football team that I was playing with. And recently I got a Saudi girl who's my friend, which I really, really like the fact that there's a girl who's Saudi and she's normal, she's a cool person, she's part of the running club. And that's nice to have that, because not many people, especially being a Western guy, can say they know or they speak to a girl who's from Saudi Arabia, because there's such divisions over there. So I'm quite lucky that we've all met through this running group that we all meet as boys and girls, and we all meet together 2 nights a week. So that's the way you can meet local people.
So you talked about salsa, clubs. Is there anything else that you can do for fun there?
You can go to the embassies. So there's a diplomatic quarter, and the different embassies organize different events. They'll have movie nights, for example. They'll have functions. They'll have Christmas functions. There'll be alcohol available, but only on the embassy parties. So there is that too. I've been to 1 or 2 of those evenings, which have been fun.
Are they expensive?
No, they're not particularly expensive. No, you pay for your ticket to get in, and you pay a certain amount of money for the food, and it's all very reasonable.
Let's talk about healthcare. Have you ever had to go to a hospital there, and would you feel comfortable getting a procedure or surgery done?
Yeah, but both answers to your question is yes. I've been recently to get some injections to go to Africa in the summer, and the hospitals are all very well run. Obviously there's a lot of money in Saudi Arabia, so they've developed the hospitals. The staff, mostly Filipino staff. There is also Western staff working there. So yeah, I would have no problem. I have a friend who's they've had 1 baby born in Riyadh, and they'll have another baby coming next month. And they've said it's been brilliant, the healthcare. There've been no worries with that. And when I went for my injections, it was all straightforward. It was organized, and I felt it was clean and it looked good. And I thought, no, I would feel comfortable if I had to do some surgery there.
What was your visa process like?
Visa process was basically done from the UK. I had to go down to London for a face-to-face interview with the Saudi Arabian consulate, which was fine. I had to send my documents down to be stamped and certified, and then I came into Saudi, not on a tourist visa, but because they don't have tourist visas at the moment. It's a different type of school company visa, and once I got that, I supplied that to my HR department, who went off, and within 5 days they had an ID card ready for me, and that's the quickest in all the other Middle East countries I've been in that managed to do it. So I was very impressed with the school's HR and how quickly they got my ID card.
Would you say that Riyadh is a good travel hub within Saudi Arabia and then around the world?
Geographically, where it is, it's pretty good, because you can get to Dubai, which is a massive hub with flights going all over the world. Inside Saudi Arabia, I've been across to Jeddah, and that's easy to do. I mean, it's all right, but it's not the best. It'd be much easier if you sort of lived in Bahrain or Dubai, because you got more international flights. But it is growing. They are growing their flight networks. I flew to Morocco direct from Riyadh purely because it was a direct flight. I thought, I'm going to go do that. So they are making more flights there, and it's getting better. But the airport needs a lot of work on, I must say that.
All right, lastly, what are some pros and cons about living in Saudi Arabia?
The pros are, if you want to be disciplined and learn something new, like when I leave Riyadh, I can say I've done a triathlon, and I'm currently doing more, and I've done an Ironman as well. So that has been positive. You can save money, and you can live a good life, healthy life. You stay away from the alcohol, you clear your system, your head's good, you save money, you make your next plan. On the other side of things, people are very friendly a lot of the time. Harsh, hot conditions, not very much to do entertainment-wise. There's no cinemas, there's no theaters, so there's not a lot of festivals going on there. It's quite dry. Yeah, it's definitely, there are pros and there are a lot of cons as well, but you just got to weigh them up and see how long you can stick it for, really, to be honest.
Well, awesome. Stu, thanks so much for telling us today about Saudi Arabia.
You're very welcome.